scene was last May as a dramatic 7th game between the Red Wings and Ducks unfolded in Southern California. The Red Wings have won it! The Detroit Red Wings, the first regulation win in this series, the biggest. The 7th-seeded Red Wings with a 7-game upset. The enchantment of that postseason resumes tonight as Detroit returns to the Magic Kingdom. With a victory last evening in Los Angeles, the Red Wings now have a chance to fly home happy from the happiest place on earth. It's the Red Wings and Ducks from the heart of Orange County, and it all begins right now on Fox Sports Detroit. And the Ducks used that loss as motivation this season for sure, but remember at the time the Wings were on a roll. Their playoff actually began a week earlier, winning their final 4 just to get in for a current league streak of 22 straight years. Our goaltenders brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, and for Detroit, Peter Mrazek, the Czech Republic native, making a 6th appearance, his 2nd versus Anaheim, his 1st in relief. This is his 4th start. And for the Ducks, Jonas Hiller, who last night in Phoenix won his 13th consecutive game, 8th in history, to win that many in a row. And we are underway as the Red Wings start with Henrik Zetterberg, Justin Abdelkader, and Gustav Nyquist as Zetterberg carries ahead. As the Ducks without Ryan Getzlaf have had to juggle their lines. Andrew Cogliano, Saku Koivu, and Jakob Silfverberg start up front for Anaheim. Abdelkader to Zetterberg, but he's checked immediately. Zetterberg pumped one back in, delayed penalty here coming to the Ducks. So Mrazek heads to the bench for an extra skater. Here's Zetterberg's got it. Face-off circle left side. Look down low for Gustav Nyquist. Nyquist off the bench came to Tatar. He's right in! And that was stopped and off to the corner. And Anaheim will touch, and 40 seconds in, the Red Wings will head to a Bell Tire power play.
Just a great start by the Red Wings here, Ken. Talking with Dan Cleary this morning. Explained to me they want to keep the puck straight forward. They want to go along the boards, keep the puck, play a simple game, keep that puck out of the middle, and they did exactly that on this first shift. And the high sticking penalty against Henrik Zetterberg will put the Ducks on the the Red Wings on the power play. But a great job and a great start by the Red Wings. They did exactly that. They got the puck deep, kept along the boards, played simple, and drew a penalty to go on the power play here early in the game.
So Saku Koivu in the box for high sticking. Red Wings to a power play that is 19th in the National Hockey League. Anaheim penalty killing is 16th best. Kindle will swing one over to Tatar, who has goals in 3 consecutive games. Cleary dropped one back to the line. Here's to Kaiser to the net. And the shot went wide. Bonino getting over, but Kindle got there first. Tatar tried to give him the puck back. Riley Sheahan is up there as well. Kindle doesn't shoot it. De Kaiser will. Tipped by Cleary, loose in front of the goal, but grabbed by the free agent signee Mark Fitzstrick, who got checked immediately. In back of the goal for the dependable Francois Beauchemin, who moved it and sent down the ice by Daniel Winnick. Mrazek sees pressure coming, able to play one away from the speedy Andrew Cogliano. Zetterberg back out for his 2nd shift after drawing the penalty from Koivu. Zetterberg on the far wall with it at the half boards. Flipped it in back of the goal. Nyquist gives him the puck back. Bertuzzi stationed in front of Jonas Hiller. Move to the near side, Kronwall. Step back here to Samuelsson with a wrist shot that got blocked by Lovejoy. Nyquist with some room. Nyquist in front, but then gets stick checked. And down the ice it goes, and hurt is Cogliano, who was slow to get up. Now he'll make his way gingerly, as you see, to the Anaheim bench as the Red Wings continue on the power play here. Henrik Zetterberg, the Red Wing captain, through center. Getting it over to Gustav Nyquist. Nyquist stops in the corner and feeds the line. Kronwall, Samuelsson, back to Zetterberg. They move it quickly. Kronwall fakes the shot. Samuelsson firing one. Loose in front. Nyquist couldn't pick up the rebound. And down the ice it's sent.
Well, the Ducks are doing a great job so far blocking shots and letting Hiller see the puck through the lanes. But Lovejoy, who's just out there, actually blocked 2 shots prior to that. And the Red Wings got to find a way to get that puck through.
Brendan Smith carried in. And Hiller will get a glove on that with Eves right there with 2 ticks left on the penalty to Saku Koivu. And let's visit where the Red Wings are as we head into action tonight in the wild card spot up ahead of the New York Rangers.
You'll see the Rangers on Thursday in Ottawa, Senators, Carolina, Toronto, New Jersey, all playing well of late, crept up the standings, and it's getting to be a logjam there at the bottom, the 7th, 8th, and 6th spots, and the Red Wings got to keep winning games, keep ahead.
Rangers at home to the Flyers tonight and leading 3-0 after the Flyers finally lost after 10 straight wins at home, beaten by Tampa Bay. And we'll get to visit the rebuilt Madison Square Garden on Thursday. Played ahead here for Eaves, and he was bumped into by Fistrick. Vatanen has it. Sami Vatanen, who had a goal last night in a 5-3 Anaheim victory in Phoenix. So they traveled to come back home, but basically arrived here about the same time as the Red Wings did in their game, driving down from the win over Los Angeles. This will be icing, and the faceoff will come back into Red Wing territory as you look at Bruce Boudreau, the head coach of the Anaheim Ducks.
And he came over from Washington, and a nice hiring for the Ducks. He does a good job. He's hiring his players, but he's fair. And the Ducks are responding so far this season and have numbers that are off the charts.
Nyquist couldn't get through at center. Boudreau's team that has won 16 of their last 17 games. He was the last coach to have that many wins when he was with Washington in 2010, and his team won 17 of 18. So Boudreau seems to have the magic touch for victory runs, and boy, his team's on quite a run now. 16 wins their past 17, and they've scored 4 or more goals have the Ducks in 10 of those wins. But they're missing a key cog tonight without Ryan Getzlaf. Tip through. Good save by Peter Mrazek there on a shot that changed direction.
A good early save by Peter Mrazek, and I could tell he was into this game right away. He's playing the puck. He was out 4 or 5 times, making nice plays with the puck. He's very alert right now.
Kindle will shoot it in. The Red Wings in the midst of a change. Nick Bonino's got it. He's picking up Getzlaf's spot. On the top line, Bolesky to Corey Perry, and a save made there by Mrazek. Perry with 25 goals, tied for second most in the league, and Mrazek's got that one. He'll hold on for another faceoff. Well, the Red Wings move to the east, and it's a good thing they're no longer in the west. When you look at those point totals with the team we're seeing here tonight, Chris, Anaheim with 73 showing the way.
Yeah, Chicago, St. Louis, Anaheim, all scary numbers. High point totals halfway through the season. Yeah, Vancouver, Minnesota battling in the 7th and 8th spot. Phoenix and Dallas having good years, good records, are on the outside looking in.
And the 73 points you saw from Anaheim, their best 47-game mark in franchise history. They had 68 back in their 07 Cup year. But they've gone way past that.
Well, you might need 100 points just to get in in the West this year, and that's a scary proposition for a lot of teams.
Boschman threw it toward the goal, hit a body. Kronwall and Smith, the defense pairing with Bolesky out there, along with Perry, and Bonino played back for Perry. Loose side of the goal, and Smith is his man covered. No call on the play, and the puck is underneath, and the faceoff may come outside the zone.
And that's exactly what the Wings have to stay away from, is getting those pucks in the middle. The Ducks thrive on those. They will turn those turnovers, keep it up the boards, get pucks out, play a simple style of hockey. This team is very similar to the LA Kings, as they like to jump on opportunity. But Smith, who's been playing so well the last 20 games, instead of going up the boards to Eaves, elects to go through the middle. I understand the play. He sees that Glendening is there. But these teams, these good teams jump on that. They read that. You've got to keep it simple, up the boards.
And he's been on it for a lot fewer goals against than he was the first half of the season.
In the last 20 games, +4, he's been making very, very good decisions out there. Simplified his game a bit, but I call that development.
+4, as you say lately, and it was -8.
Talking to him the other day, last game was his 82nd game, so he's only really played a full NHL season, and he's developing in the right direction, which is a good sign.
Miller out with Samuelsson and Joachim Anderson. Samuelsson put it back for Quincy. And one more time they'll play it. Back to the Anaheim line, knocked down at center. Getting over was Samuelsson on the intercept. Drew Miller, the former Anaheim Duck, carried in, but Joachim Anderson was offside.
What?
Let's take a look at the Flagstar Bank Star Watch and a little more on Brendan Smith and his improvement, as Chris was speaking of, the last 19 games, and good to be on the plus side of that ledger.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. He's listening to his coaches. He's working hard at the same time. He sat out a few games in the stands. He watched. He said he really learned a lot from watching Nicholas Kronwall and Eriksson, and now he's really improved. You can see he's been making some huge strides here the last 20 games.
Some good work by Abdelkader to keep control of the puck to the line to Lashoff. Threw it to the net. Tipped in front by Gustav Nyquist. Zetterberg tried to take it away. Koivu's got it. Moved it quickly. Gets it back from Cogliano. Saku Koivu's brother Mikko injured with Minnesota out a month. They'll miss him, the Wild do. Zetterberg ahead for Nyquist. It goes wide of Jonas Hiller. Back to retrieve it was Ben Lovejoy. His pass up the right wing boards and sent ahead by Jakob Silfverberg. Deep into the Red Wing zone as both teams make changes. Bertuzzi was there to recover the puck. Played back by Kronwall for Brendan Smith. Bertuzzi wants the long stretch pass, and it's perfect on his stick, but he couldn't corral it. He goes in there along with Francois Beauchemin. Puck bouncing back to the line. Kronwall had backed up. Carried in by Winnick, but offside. With Kronwall forcing the issue. The birthday boy who turns 33 today. Happy birthday, Nick Kronwall. We'll be back in a moment. There's the birthday boy, and Chris, I guess he's pretty happy that Chris Draper's not around anymore. No more pies in the face. Your local Toyota dealers brings you the scouting report on 3 things you need to know about Nick Kronwall besides the birthday today. 216 assists, 23rd in franchise history, and he'll go for more Olympic gold in Sochi next month.
And what a great leader Nicholas Kronwall has become on this team. Anybody they put with them back in that blue line seems to play better. Brendan Smith. A lot of it has to do with the way Brendan Smith's played, but whenever you're with a guy like Nicholas Kronwall, he can only make you better.
Here comes Zetterberg. Goes wide with it. Pinching in is Quincy. Back of the goal to Abdelkader. Watched there by Lovejoy, who's on defense with Cam Fowler. Fowler intercepts. Knocked down. Fowler will play for the U.S. Olympic team as it rolls through to Mrazek. As Fowler was born in Windsor, but only lived there for a year and grew up in Farmington Hills, graduated from Farmington High back in 09. So Cam Fowler has just been terrific in Ann Arbor Pioneer High School with the U.S. National Team Development Program. But what a defenseman he has come, they say, leaps and bounds this year from even previous years when he was good, but that much better defensively this year.
Yeah, and one of the most important things in the National Hockey League now is your defense have to be able to move the puck, and Anaheim has the guys that can do that, just like Los Angeles, and that's one of the big reasons why both these teams have so many points.
Some were surprised that Fowler made the team over the likes of Keith Yandel, who can be a gambler, but Fowler can move the puck, and as we say, the defensive game has come a long way, and he's been so strong for the Ducks. Just deflected wide of the goal. Moving in goes Kindle. They battle along the boards as Glendening will go back to get it. As Lashoff took his man out of the play.
Winnick was looking for a penalty there against the Red Wings, but nice play by the Red Wings to pinch him off on the sideboards in the neutral zone. They're really playing well on the boards his last 2 games here against the LA Kings. And so far tonight against the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. 2 big teams are doing well against on the boards and matching them in the physical play.
Another long stretch pass to center. But Riley Sheahan, on the heels of his first career goal, couldn't pick it up, and Anaheim's about 30 feet offside. I'm not sure that Corey Perry...
I'm not quite sure what Corey Perry was doing there.
Where that puck was going, but he said, oh, the heck with it. We're playing in the 1919 rules where there were forward passes then. I don't know.
For the Hail Mary.
Perry in way ahead of the play, but what a season he's having. And as we say, he didn't score in the 7-game series against Detroit, and that was a big part of why Anaheim lost that series. But 25 goals this season, second in the National Hockey League, and 6th in the league in points with 49. What a year.
And Ken, that must be a set play. Corey Perry took off again. This time was way offside again. He might be looking for a shot pass off the backboards and beat the D to the puck.
Well, something we'll watch for.
Look for that.
Yep. Zetterberg in back of the net. Trying to work on Bonino. And Bolesky, the other winger on this line. Kronwall was able to hold it in. Perry out at the blue line looking for that pass. He's got it now, and then Kronwall cut him off. Ahead for Bolesky. Number 39, another Windsor native. Brendan Smith tied up by Bolesky, who's got it. Centered one, but right through the slot and all the way back down ice. Lovejoy made the pass to the middle, but then stripped to the puck. was brought back in by Samuelson. Joachim Anderson going in there, first on it. Left it in back of the goal for Samuelson. Checked by Lovejoy. De Kaiser kicked at it, back to Samuelson. Off a skate, ricochet through to Miller. Miller escapes a hit. Some good work to get it to the line by Anderson, and then he tipped it to open ice. But grabbed there by Patrick Maroon, the big forward, number 62, 6'5", 230 pounds. This will be icing in the face-off back into Anaheim territory as we approach the halfway point of this first period. And last night, the first career goal for Riley Sheahan.
What a thrill this was for him, flying all the way across the country to participate in this game. He's been very, very good. Standing in front of the net where he's supposed to be. Same as he does in Grand Rapids. Doesn't change a thing. It's just at a different level. But he took his game to the next level last night. And what a thrill getting his first goal of his career.
When I asked Riley Sheahan a while ago, how would you celebrate your first goal? He said, for me, a goal celebration as little selly as possible. Well, on that one, he had no chance. He had to get himself off the ice first, so he was true to his word. There was no real celebration. Point shot went wide.
Yeah, he's a quiet kid, very bashful, and it was had to be a great moment for him, and his parents probably were very, very excited watching that goal. And that's the type of goal he's going to score, though. He's a big body. He's going to get in front. He's going to grind away, and that's how you score in the National Hockey League, just like that.
And he had to wait for all those texts because his cell phone was dead during the game, so he couldn't retrieve them right after. So I had to wait for all those well wishes in front of the goal again. Oh, I guess his phone's charged, and he's charged up. Nearly had a few more right there. Another shot up high, hit Hiller in the head, I think. Loose in front of the goal. He's banging away at it. Sheahan looking for it, in back of the goal. Boschem into safety.
Well, those three were swarming the net, and Hiller stood tall.
Back in Palmieri, the shot. Palmieri was perhaps the best Ducks forward in the 7-game series against Detroit, number 21. To Penner, and that was blocked in front. Penner scored on a shot just like that last night in the game in Phoenix. Number 17 for the Ducks, who's got a couple of cups on his resume. One here and one further north in Los Angeles. So the Red Wings apply some pressure. It's still scoreless first period. Well, it was another number 7 seed over a number 2 seed. That's the number that has the most upsets in the opening round of Stanley Cup playoffs in history. And what a series it was for the Red Wings, winning in this building in 7, 3-2 the final. The Ducks thought that series was theirs to win, and lamenting that when it was all over. But Jimmy Howard was the story in that series. He was outstanding.
That was a great series, and the next series was even better. The only thing that wasn't was the Red Wings didn't move past the Chicago Blackhawks, but wow. Those are two of the best series that I've watched in a long, long time. Great goaltending, great defense, and great forwards. It was just a hard-fought 2 consecutive series, and unfortunately the Red Wings didn't get past the Blackhawks.
Abdelkader. We saw a score in that game 7. Stood Zetterberg. Tried to get it back through to Gustav Nyquist. Couldn't do it. Jakob Silfverberg with it. Silfverberg's missed 24 games injured with a broken right hand, as we'll hit an icing call here in the face-off back in Anaheim territory.
And Henrik Zetterberg, who's always good in the playoffs, really. I mean, this is of no surprise, but he was great last year against Anaheim. And this guy is always the best player. The bigger the game is, the bigger the moment, the better Henrik Zetterberg plays. And wow, was he ever good. Not only then, in that series, but just to get the Red Wings to that point, he was great those last 5 games.
As I mentioned, that was really that down the stretch of that regular season, albeit a shortened season, was really the playoffs first round for the Red Wings. Then beating Anaheim was really the second round, and Chicago third. The way they just had to fight to get into the playoffs.
And for Henrik Zetterberg, that's what makes star players. Is he is big in big moments, and he's done that time and time again over the time of his career.
Flipped back to center ice. Brought back in by Sami Vatanen. As the Ducks have some pretty good defense draft picks that there on the blue line. As Tatar carries in, Vatanen, high draft pick, as was Fowler, in front of the goal and tipped just wide of the net by Luke Glendening. Glendening going to get it again for Cleary. Back to De Kaiser, the shot, and deflected wide of the goal. Daniel Cleary played a season-high 18 minutes, 18 seconds against the Kings last night.
Glendening's had some chances here on this road trip to try and get that first goal of his career. Get that puck on his stick. He's got to soften up those hands a bit in the nerves and just relax.
Big assist last night for him, and a shot that Mrazek calmly handles. And Henrik Zetterberg, the hero in Game 6 from the slap shot, found its way through in overtime. Sent the Joe hopping and back here to Anaheim to close out the Ducks in 7. He's got a lot on his plate tonight and probably happy he doesn't have to go up against Ryan Getzlaf this evening. That'll help a little bit, especially after the way things went against Joe Thornton in San Jose. And he was picked up by some others with big performances last night in Los Angeles. Here's Samuelsson getting to it. And a blocker save made by Jonas Hiller. 13 straight victories for Jonas Hiller, the last NHL goaltender to do that. My broadcast partner back in 1996.
Wow,
13
that
wins.
makes me feel old and good at the same time. But Hiller's one of those guys with the equipment changes. His pads are a lot smaller. He's benefited from it, just like Gustafsson for us. He's quicker, he's more athletic, got a little bit away from that. Now he's back to his old form, and he's looked great this season for Anaheim.
And he'll be an unrestricted free agent end of the season. The backup goaltender due to Ducks injuries is John Gibson, who's never played a game, but he's a World Junior star and has been very good in the American Hockey League.
The Ducks are one of those teams that have a ton of goaltenders, not only here, but in their minor league system as well. They're coming up, so Hiller could be on the free agent market come July 1st.
The Ducks Cogliano, who's off a new 4-year extension, into the slot. Shot got blocked. Getting in front of it, Brendan Smith. And he's able to clear the zone. Abdelkader, he'll sweep it in and go after the puck. A bouncing puck. Abdelkader in deep and put it through the blue, but nobody there to tap it home. But some good work by number 8 of the Red Wings.
Yeah, great job by Abdelkader just to settle that puck down and give himself an opportunity to get a chance on goal.
Fowler left it there for Lovejoy. And that's tipped out of play with 5:51 to go in the first period. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
This game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Rangers, as Ken said earlier, in that second wild card spot, hosting Philly. Rangers up 1-0. The puck will eventually find its way to the back of the net. Compliments of Rick Nash. His 11th of the year gets past Ray Emery. The Rangers lead this one 4-0. It's in the second, Kenny.
Two outstanding junior careers for John Gibson and Peter Mrazek. Mrazek was terrific in Alberta at the World Junior Championships in 2012 for the Czech Republic with a 52-save win over the United States, knocking the U.S. to the relegation round. That year, for the most part, John Gibson was a backup goaltender, but then the next year, he backstopped Team USA to the gold medal at the World Juniors, a 5-0-2 record, and was the most valuable player in the championship. So, bright future for John Gibson.
And you mentioning that game.
Here's Zetterberg with a fake shot in front of the goal. Great diving play. Knocked away and out to center. Jakob Silfverberg. What a play that was.
It's a great play. Diving play probably prevented a goal. Desperation dive for the puck and just a great defensive play.
Puck's off the back of the net. Penalty here coming Anaheim. And Saku Koivu will go back to the box.
This is a great defensive play. Off a turnover, just by the blue line. These will always hurt you. Henrik Zetterberg, a nice fake, pushes the pass across, and what a desperation poke check to keep that puck away from a sure goal possibly, but Koivu not too happy with this. Going for the puck, his stick gets tangled up inadvertently in the skates of DeKeyser, who falls down and put the Red Wings on the power play. But going back to Mrazek, who he beat the USA in that game, Ken. He was a fan favorite in Canada for that game for a long time.
Yes, for sure. And just his celebration after the game was something to behold for Peter Mrazek. While Riley Sheahan may not have celebrations, Mrazek certainly does. In back of the goal for Cleary, centering one! And Tatar nearly buried his fourth straight game.
Maybe one too many moves there by electrifying Tatar. Probably should have just shot that right away, tried the extra move. The ice isn't very good here in Anaheim.
Well, he should have learned about bad ice outdoors.
Yeah, he's got to remember that.
Here's Tatar, played back, held in. Good second effort by Sheahan, and a good play by Kendall, a bouncing puck out of the air. DeKeyser, good effort.
And not only that, but it enabled Hiller to reset himself and get an opportunity to make a save. The puck popped out front so quick. Hiller didn't have his head turned in time. If he would have banged that, he would have had a chance. He couldn't have reacted in time. That gave Hiller the opportunity to make a save on that.
Samuelsson bobbing and weaving, and Zetterberg moving it over. Nyquist, a flip pass to Bertuzzi. For Samuelsson. Kronwall slip, gets back up. Samuelsson one-timer off a skate. Zetterberg will scoop up the puck. Kronwall quickly. Samuelsson couldn't one-time that. Kronwall will. Blocked in front, hit Bertuzzi, loose side of the goal. Zetterberg couldn't bury it. Boy, Red Wings have had good pressure.
Right, Bertuzzi took that just above the knee as he hobbles off the ice.
He's hurt. Zetterberg the shot. Hiller fought it off. And it's Bertuzzi just now making his way to the Red Wing bench, and he has to be helped to the dressing room.
What a great save by Hiller. I've seen Hiller play last year. I haven't had the chance to see him play that much this year, but he sure looks very, very good this season. And no wonder he's 13 wins in a row. And he stood tall. Detroit outchancing the Ducks 7-3 so far in this game. He's been standing tall in there.
Ducks have it as the Red Wings fail on the power play attempt. 0 for 2 is Detroit. Kronwall for Anderson. Miscued on the playback for Quincy as Bonino forced the issue. Slip back deep into the Duck zone. Glendening poked it to the corner. Maroon is there for Anaheim. For Hampus Lindholm, number 47 cleared it around. One of the better rookies in the National Hockey League, the defenseman Lindholm. They think they've got a gem back there. Lindholm playing with Boscheman. Lindholm had a couple of goals last night. Getting touted maybe as Calder Trophy possibility. Rookie of the Year, Nathan McKinnon, Torrey Krug, a few others certainly in the running. He may have better offensive numbers for sure. Tatar, great pass to Sheahan, just off his skate. Took a hit. De Kaiser, quick shot in. Hit a stick. Red Wings converge on the Ducks. But in comes Kyle Palmieri. In deep off the stick of Mrazek, played to De Kaiser, and back come the Red Wings clearing. He couldn't get through, turned over at the Anaheim line. Two Red Wing forwards a trap. The Ducks come back in. Penner hooked by De Kaiser. Pass in front, nobody there off the feed from Vatanen, as the Red Wings will be short-handed. The referees tonight, that's Ian Walsh, working along with Dennis LaRue.
Yeah, and Dan Cleary's not too happy with himself. He turned the puck over just inside the Duck blue line, which Abel, here's a chance by Tatar. One too many moves. Great pass by Cleary up front. He had an opportunity to bang that home, made that extra move, allowing Hiller to get an opportunity to stop it. Then a shot through traffic. Bertuzzi, where he's been all season, takes that just above the knee, and that does not feel too good. Here's the penalty. The Duck player breaking through, trying to get through between the Red Wings defense.
Mike Babcock, if you heard him with John Keating and Red Wings Live, battling a pretty bad cold, it seems. He's picked that up. Here's Fowler. He couldn't get to the puck. Well, Mike Babcock picked up a cold. He's going to finally pick up his luggage when he returns home tomorrow after the naming of the Canadian Olympic team. Went the Red Wings out in San Jose. His luggage didn't arrive, and I think it's been trailing him across the country and yet to have it. So he'll finally get it when he gets back home. Back to the line here to Fowler. Into the slot for Perry. Red Wings all over him. Lashoff, good play. Glendening out to center. Good first period here for Detroit, trying to weather the storm in the final minute. They've outshot the Ducks 10-6 thus far. Bonino, 13 goals on the season for number 13. And Eaves will get it down the ice.
Yeah, nice play by Patrick Eaves. Stayed patient by Bonino, knowing they're going for the give and go. Stayed positionally sound, tipped that puck out, and got it down the ice.
Brought ahead by Lindholm to Teemu Selanne, who didn't play last night against Phoenix. Doesn't play in back-to-back games. After all, he is 43. Still pretty valuable to this Anaheim team. Perreault down low to Selanne. Off the back of the goal, in goes Matthew Perreault. Played for Bruce Boudreau in his time with Washington. Hampus Lindholm to the high slot, wide open and blocked. Drew Miller. Great block shot there on Sami Vatanen, and he's hurt too. Well, they've already lost Bertuzzi. after he blocked a Red Wings shot inadvertently, and Drew Miller blocked that one as the Red Wings will go to the dressing room in a goalless first period.
Yeah, the Red Wings have been sacrificing their bodies here the last couple nights. The other night in Los Angeles, and here again. Miller making a great play with time ticking off the clock, preventing a great scoring chance. Mrazek screen behind. Beautiful play again.
Well, coming up in our Ram Intermission Report, along with Jay and Dan and the Wings simplifying their game, we'll hear from Justin Abdelkader. Right now, we'll send it to the studio where Darren Elliott's with Trevor.
Ken, thank you very much. And this intermission report is presented by Ram Trucks, engineered to move heaven and earth. Guts, glory, Ram. No score after the first 20 in Anaheim. Darren, your thoughts of the way the Wings played? Looked like a pretty good road game for them in the first.
Outstanding. They were spot on in all three zones. They played exactly the way they had to. The young netminder, Peter Mrazek, he was on point right from the beginning, looked sharp. Really good road period. We'd take that kind of period at home.
And one of the keys to that period is simplifying everything you do out there, isn't it?
We're going to show an example of how they've simplified through the neutral zone.
You take a look at right here, Nicholas Kronwall backs out, no strong side pinch. Instead, he's saying and directing, pick that guy up. Why?
Simplify it through the neutral zone. Use the blue line so you don't gamble to keep the puck in at the blue line and turn the puck over. He backs out, takes his man, points out who should be the back checker. They're all lined up through the neutral zone, puts the play offside. Just a real simple play.
It looks to be working for them through 20 minutes anyway. Let's get you back to the Duck Pond now, where John Keating is standing by after the period to talk with Justin Abdelkader. Keats, it's all yours.
All right, Trev, thanks. Your team going up against the best team in hockey right now. How'd you like your first 20 minutes?
I thought we did a lot of good things, coming off a back-to-back. I thought we control a lot of the play in their zone. Just couldn't find to get one past Hiller, but, we'll keep working and keep following pucks in net, finish this kill off, and hopefully have a good second.
You've had scoring chances. Your team has had scoring chances. Penalty or power play, though, still is leaving something to be desired.
Yeah, power play, got to get more shots than that, I think, but I thought we did a lot of good things, and I think it just takes a bounce or two, and for us to get one, I think the momentum will carry over. So just keep doing good things on the power play and getting pucks in net.
Riley Sheahan comes up. You move from center to wing. How much more comfort do you have on the wing?
Yeah, for me, I think it suits my game. Just getting in on the forecheck. I like being the guy down low in the offensive zone, trying to hang on to pucks, grind pucks, and force their D. I kind of got used to it there for a while, and then going back to center was definitely a change because you play, you're in different areas of the ice, and you're down low most of the time in the defensive zone, so you're the last guy in the offensive zone. So, for me, I think it suits my game, and obviously playing with two really good players, Z and Gus. So, hopefully just keep getting on pucks and getting pucks to those guys and getting them to the net.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, John.
Justin Abdelkader and the Wings find themselves zip with the Ducks after one, T.
John, they sure do, and when we come back, we'll have highlights, and we'll also share the latest installment of On Thin Ice with you. Jay and Dan are back, and you don't want to miss it. They're next, between periods, here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Well, Peter Mrazek, as we mentioned in the first period, that stunning 52-save performance to knock off the United States and the 5-2 win and the celebration for all Sellies. An excitable guy, but you know him very well. Our player fact brought to you by Motor City Casino Hotel. And Chris, nothing phases this guy.
No, a great tournament by Mrazek. He loves the big stage, and tonight again, he loves playing in games like this. He's playing against a team that has the most points in the National Hockey League, and he enjoys every minute of it. Early in this game, he's out of the net nonstop playing pucks, and he just has fun playing.
And good news for the Red Wings is that Todd Bertuzzi is back after blocking that shot and had to be helped to the dressing room. So good that he's back on the Red Wing bench and hopefully ready to take a shift or two or three. Or is he leaving already? Not even going to get there. So he's stretching down the hallway. So we'll see. As the drop the puck. So 4 seconds gone here, and with that, that's not necessarily a bad thing for the Red Wings unless they're resetting this clock. Yes, they do. I'm going to say time would have run off on the Gustav Nyquist penalty. So the Red Wings begin period number 2, shorthanded. Anaheim on their first power play of the game, and we'll get a stop and play. 9 seconds into period 2. And Todd Bertuzzi is mentioned on the bench, and here's why there was some question whether he would be.
Yeah, a shot comes through, catches him just above the knee. Tender spot that is, not a lot of padding there. He's trying to walk that off from the bench and stay loose. Seemed like committee sat down, caused him a lot of pain, so he's trying to keep that knee loosened up so he can get out there and start skating here.
Cam Fowler, a good skater, will bring it to center. The 12th overall pick in 2010, now in his 4th season. Mrazek couldn't play that one in back of the goal. Out of the box comes Nyquist. Mrazek the save, and the shot just wide. Cleared around, but not out from Kronwall. Anderson tried to play it back to Kronwall, but didn't get there. And then Boschman's shot deflected high and off the glass. Drew Miller took a swipe at the puck, but the Ducks are able to keep it in. Then blocked by Miller, tries to find it. He did. Here's Nyquist going after that puck. No icing on the play as Nyquist will get there first. And threw one in off Hiller. And Dustin Penner's got it. Side of the goal as Boschman nearly lost it. Forced there by Nyquist and Zetterberg as Abdelkader's got it at center. Back for Brendan Smith. Quincy. Back for Smith, who got sandwiched. Puck squirts free. Quincy for Nyquist. He'll send it in. Hiller out there to stop it. He'll shoot it high and off the glass for Palmieri. A bouncing puck for center. Knocked down by Smith. Carried through. Zetterberg check. There's going to be a penalty here to Anaheim. Zetterberg carries through as he was held. Zetterberg brings it into the zone along with Sheahan. Zetterberg stops and turns, threw it in front. Here's Bertuzzi, a shot and a save. And Anaheim will be shorthanded.
I think Koivu's going off for his 3rd penalty of the game, and not a guy that's known to be taking a lot of penalties over the course of his career. But he's not complaining about this one. This is an obvious grab by Koivu.
Second time on Zetterberg tonight, the first period high sticking.
We always say once you take that hand off your stick and grab a player anywhere, the ref's going to call it. It's an easy call for the referee, but uncharacteristic by Koivu. Three penalties, and we're not even halfway through this game.
And 2, you know, the Finnish-Swedish rivalry there, so 2 on Zetterberg from Koivu. So the Red Wings on a belt tire power play to Kaiser shooting, and that was blocked. And the Ducks will escape, but knocked down by De Keyser. Sent back by Fistrick and in. Mrazek. Edmonds very confident with Mrazek back there. Handles the puck well, does he?
Yeah, and it's such a benefit for your team, for your defense, when your goaltender can handle the puck like that, moving it up, putting the puck in good spots for your D so they can make that good first pass out of the zone.
Sheahan couldn't pick it up. In goes Daniel Cleary. It's knocked past him to Kaiser. Boschman gets checked by Sheahan, who's been very heavy on the puck, using his size. Tatar, who was robbed in the first. Kindle a shot and a save and a rebound. Sheahan looking for it. Cleary trying to find it. Tatar bodies his man. Sheahan knocked it back to Tatar. Sharp angle off the side of the goal. Kindle goes in. Bonino forcing him and knocks it off his stick.
Tatar, Cleary, and Sheahan, they've been very good on the power play here through the course of this game. They haven't got a goal yet, but they're creating opportunity. Throwing the puck in Hiller's feet and going to the net. Creating a lot of chaos. Just one of those pucks has to pop loose for them to get a goal.
And making the most of their power play time in the absence of Alfredson and Datsuk and Franzen. Punched back by Mrazek. Off Cogliano, and then Mrazek forced to hold on with 33 seconds left in the Koivu penalty.
That was a good job by Peter Mrazek to stick with that save there, but in the first period, this is right away in the game. Peter Mrazek's out of the net, assisting his defense with nice little plays. No, these aren't big plays, but little plays, just passing it to his defense, enabling them to make the first pass to get pucks out and giving them a hand time and time again back there. Never underestimate a goaltender playing the puck is so important in this league nowadays.
Off that draw, the Red Wings have it as Kronwall leaves it. Nyquist trying to get past Corey Perry, couldn't do it. And as a result, the Red Wings turn it over, so some valuable seconds off the power play here as Anaheim has it, as Fowler gives it to Perry. Knocked down by Zetterberg. But a shot into the glove of Mrazek. Off the stick of Matt Bolesky, who's got 7 points and a couple of goals his past 5 games.
Vasilevsky comes down a wrister through the legs of Kronwall, and Mrazek with a scintillating glove save, snaring that out of the air. A little 80s style in that save too. How he fell back on his rear end, but great save by Peter Mrazek. He looks like he's into this game right now. He looks like he's having a great time out there and enjoying every minute of this.
He came on in relief of Jonas Gustafsson in the 5-2 loss to Anaheim at Joe Louis Arena. This will be icing as Anaheim is now back at full strength. In that game, in the 5-2 loss, Thomas Jurko and Daniel Cleary bookended 5 consecutive Anaheim goals in that game. In that game, no Zetterberg, Helm, DeKeyser, Franzen, or Howard that night. Off the draw for Brendan Smith. Checked at center. Maroon for Solani. Smith back to get it, just off the wall. Abdelkader forcing it in front of the goal for Eves. Off a good play by Glendening. Abdelkader out of the corner. Spins back to create some space. And home pushes Abdelkader down. Gets hit to the boards again. Second man in, Glendening, and now Abdelkader retrieves the puck. Over Glendening's stick. Eves trying to get there. Hampus Lindholm. And out at center. Abdelkader will get one back for Kindle. Both teams in the midst of changes, approaching 5 minutes gone in period number 2. Quick feed ahead for Joachim Anderson. Kindle at the line. Threw it in front of the goal. Corey Perry with it. Miscued on that pass back. Perry had the game-winning goal in Detroit in the 5-2 Anaheim victory. You mentioned earlier one of those games where Anaheim racked up 5 again. Miller, 30% of their games they've scored 5 or more goals this season. DeKeyser in a shot block. Perry up there along with Penner, but the play is called at the Red Wing line on the offside. Well, don't miss Original 6 Hockey at the Joe Wednesday, January 22nd as the Wings battle the Blackhawks in Chicago's only regular season trip to Hockeytown. For tickets, go to DetroitRedWings.com or call 313-471-7575 during normal business hours. Chicago lost a key game last night. Extra time to Montreal. Abdelkader. Puck into the corner there for Nyquist. Nyquist back to Zetterberg, and the shot just went wide on the stick side of the right-handed catching netminder Jonas Hiller. One of 3 in the National Hockey League playing this season who catch with their right hand. Some of your mates, when you played, Chris, ever ask you when they went into a game against a goaltender, as this will be icing, who caught with his right hand? Did they ever ask you about tendencies, or is it different for a forward or a defenseman shooting on a goaltender who catches with the other hand?
Yeah, for sure it is. It's definitely tougher for players. It's different. Visually, it's much, much different. And sometimes they'd say in practice, I've heard coaches talk about bringing in a goalie that catches the other way so the players can practice shoot on him. Guys have their use of shooting in certain spots, but when the goalie has that glove on the other side, it causes them some problems for sure.
Zetterberg knocks down his man. DeKeyser ties it up. Zetterberg waiting for it to come free. Bolesky digging it out. Zetterberg turning. Abdelkader safe play, letting Nyquist race there with Fowler. Fowler, that good skater, gets one ahead for Bolesky. Winnick to the goal. Great block there by DeKeyser. Good hustle, Detroit. Sheahan skates away with it for Bertuzzi. Gets it through to Tar. And down the ice for Brendan Smith.
That was a great play by Danny DeKeyser, realizing his team was caught in a line change. He was patient. He bought himself some time waiting for his guys to come onto the ice from behind and caused probably Winnick making a play. He didn't really want to make it. DeKeyser, being patient, put his leg down and blocked that pass coming across. Red Wings get caught in a messy line change, creating this opportunity for the Ducks. And DeKeyser staying patient, waiting for the perfect timing to come over and block that pass from coming across. And while we've said it all season long, this kid plays way beyond his age and very, very smart player.
Pass off the skate of Tatar as Bertuzzi will dump it in. Playing it just inside the trapezoid, and around it goes for Botman. Perreault moving it back and fired in by Fister. Mrazek slowed it down. Kronwall tipped it over to help Glendening. To the point and a shot in. Mrazek got all turned around in his acrobatic style. Held in there by Perreault. That shot sails high as Maroon let it go. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Danny DeKeyser's been very, very good again tonight. Standing tall back there for the Red Wings, making great first pass out of the zone. But what I really like about his game moving forward this season, he's jumping up into the play, getting more involved in the offense, and he does have the ability to do that. And here's what you can't teach: a long reach. That's what Danny DeKeyser here, or this. Smart. He's a very, very smart young hockey player, and he's going to be a star one day for the Red Wings for a long, long time.
Zetterberg and Koivu on the draw. It comes back here to Fowler. Palmieri, a shot blocked by the aforementioned Danny DeKeyser. Oh, DeKeyser seemed to get something up in the facial area. Hand pass being called. So the faceoff will come outside as Anaheim touched that puck. Guys are checking to see if he's cut.
Good job, first of all, by Danny DeKeyser to notice that set play the Ducks have. Got out on the Duck player to foil that shot, but took a stick down low when he's falling to the ice. And hard for the referee to even see that.
Back to get it is Lindholm. 2 goals last night. The Ducks defense has scored 21 goals the past 33 games after they had no goals the first 14. And 3 last night. Delayed penalty here coming to Detroit.
I don't understand how that is a penalty to Niklas Kronwall. Perry looked like he grabbed Kronwall. And I thought he would be going off for this penalty, but obviously Kronwall will be going off. Here's the play that they tried earlier in the first period twice, where they shoot it the distance of the ice, and Perry shoots ahead. And Kronwall, noticing they're trying this play, the veteran defenseman, battling Perry. It appeared, and here's a set play the Ducks have with Perry shooting forward, trying to get around Kronwall. Yes, there's Kronwall's one hand, but it appeared pretty close. It was very similar to the Anderson penalty the other night in LA.
That shot stopped off Palmieri's stick. Ducks have it at center. 21st best power play in the National Hockey League. Good play by Miller on Kyle Palmieri. As Penner and Perry are up for Anaheim along with Bonino. Perry back to the line. Palmieri, and a save made. Mrazek, not sure where it is, but got it. And up into the netting and out of play. And Kyle Palmieri, and mentioned how good he was in the 7-game series against Detroit. His 8 goals this season and 18 points.
And after Perry and Getzlaf, that's what makes this Ducks team, is they're very deep up front. We think they have Hall of Famer Solani on the 4th line. But guys like Bonino, Koivu, Cogliano, Winnick, Palmieri, very good. Played great last year in the playoffs and has continued his strong play this season. But then you add, like you said earlier, Ken, the points coming from the blue line. Well, it makes them a dangerous team. You see why they've scored so many goals this season already.
And And there is Teemu Selanne. And when you talk about a power play, 253 power play goals in his career. Third all-time for Teemu Selanne, who didn't play last night, but had a goal last Thursday, the 680th of his career, 10th all-time, and just 10 shy of Mario Lemieux in 10th place.
I know those 680, he had quite a few against me. He's one of my nemesis throughout my career, and wow, what a player he is.
Vatanen for Selanne, tipped over top of the goal. It was Maroon, the big player in front of Mrazek.
And there was that quick release by Selanne, getting that onto the net through his screen. Almost made it 681.
He endured a 19-game goal slump this season as he gets it through to Perreault. Maroon back of the goal. To the line to Lindholm. Getting it back, Vatanen. For Selanne. On his 22nd season, Perreault gets checked. Good work by Glendening. Selanne goes back to the line with it. They tried to feed him in front, knocked away and cleared by Eves.
Good defensive play by Smith again, coming back. The Ducks had 4 guys down low looking for that seam pass to the back door of Mrazek, and Smith did a good job to pick that off.
And a good job by Drew Miller to hold the line on the attempted pass by Hampus Lindholm.
Miller's got himself into a nice little roll here. He's been great on the penalty kill for quite a while now for the Red Wings.
Mrazek able to knock it out of the air, keep it in the trapezoid, made the play, a bouncing puck to the line for Lovejoy. Penalty over, intercepted, and all alone at center. Out of the box, Kronwall's in. Looks for help, he's got it. Miller backhand, and a save made by Hiller. Jonas Hiller stops Drew Miller, and this game remains goalless past the halfway point now.
What patience by Miller. When he had a guy behind him impeding a shot. He held on to it, made a nice move, and Hiller made a nice pad save, sealing everything low on the ice.
Danny DeKeyser picks it up with a little bit of room. Tipped through center by Abdelkader. Perry back to get it for the Ducks. Francois Beauchemin. Lindholm, his pass for Koivu didn't work. And as a result, this will be icing. The shots are 15-12 in Detroit's favor, with 8:54 to go in the second period.
Nice delay move by Cromwell, but what patience by Miller, showing some offensive ability to make that move around. And here's Selanne looking for 681 with that quick snapper. Just a turn of the wrist. Very, very good goal scorer, and that's one of the reasons why he has that many goals.
Red Wings win that face-off. Nyquist for Abdelkader off his stick. Zetterberg. Nyquist, good spin back at the line to try to get away from Koivu in front of the net. It was just behind Zetterberg. Ducks with that good speed. Cogliano coming through. On to Koivu. Koivu going to the goal. Cuts back and a save, Mrazek. And he'll hold on to that. We'll step out back in a moment in a goalless game in Anaheim. If you look down the Red Wings list of goal scorers, 2 of the top 4 aren't in the lineup. Datsuk with 15, Zetterberg 14, Alfredson 11, but there's Thomas Tatar with 10 at number 4, and it's time for AT&T Uverse Reverse Rewind. 3 goals in consecutive games for Thomas Tatar.
And some pretty goals, the first 2, and none bigger than this. The game winner in Los Angeles the other night against a very good LA Kings team. And talking with some of his players at breakfast this morning, when they mentioned Thomas Tatar, they said he's been playing like a stud lately. And he's been a big player for them with the amount of guys they've had out, and they appreciate how hard he's worked and how well he's been playing.
And in case you missed it, that tribute looking to the heavens was for his father Jan, who passed away with some liver issues. And he'll head home to Slovakia tomorrow, and he'll get there Tuesday morning. And the funeral will be Wednesday. He will miss the game in New York on Thursday and then return. He went home to see his dad over Christmas time, and his brothers are there and his mom, so things are looked after. But it's been tough for him, for sure, as that's up into the netting out of play. And as he said, even when his dad was ill, the difference over there in Europe as opposed to here, you can't always get doctors on weekends. They're on days off. And it's a problem, and even in care. And he found that to certainly be an issue. And it was even tough today contacting the folks back home and just how people aren't around to do things that you'd expect over here just to be matter of fact, and they're done. So it's been tough for his mom.
Just watching him over the last couple of days, so impressed by the way he's handled everything, the way he's playing, and he's such a great young man, and he's a great young player for this team. Played so well when he won the MVP in the Calder Cup playoffs last year. Now to move on to this year and become not only a regular for this Red Wings team, but he's playing very well. He's becoming an integral part of what they do. And now what he's went through with his father, wow, he's just, the way he's held up is unbelievable.
And he also wanted to make mention of how all Red Wing fans supporting him and through Facebook and Twitter, and very grateful for that too. So doesn't go unnoticed. It's nice. Bertuzzi will send it in, knocked down though by Lindholm. Good stay at center there by Lashoff. Anaheim 18-0-2 in this building, as that'll be held by Mrazek. They've lost one game in regulation since November the 29th. And that's anywhere. That's how good this team has been. Now they're 18-0-2 here. They lost in overtime to New Jersey and in a shootout to Los Angeles. That's it. So that's how good they've been. And they've also been very good on the road too. They played a league-high 27 road games. All 16 East road games have already been played. So their schedule sets them up very well down the stretch.
And that's to their advantage. They have a very good team now to get all these road games out of the way early. They can certainly make hay that second half of the season and challenge Chicago for that first overall spot in the Western Conference.
And to think what Bruce Boudreau's been able to do with his team, they won 7 straight in October. They won a franchise record 10 straight in December when they went 11-1-1. And they're 5-0 in 2014 this month of January.
And I think Bruce Boudreau would take those numbers and throw them away. He could get his teams a little farther in the playoffs, including back when he coached in Washington, never met expectations. And last year, obviously the Red Wings taking out the Ducks, but he's one of those guys that matters. What matters most is playoffs.
Here's Cogliano, looks for it, scores! Great pass by Koivu.
Well, a great pass by the veteran player Koivu through the crease here, just eluding Smith. The Cogliano bangs into the open net. Smith puts his head up to the sky thinking he should have had it. But a beautiful pass by Koivu, and that's the problem with this Ducks team. You make one or two mistakes, and the Red Wings have played so poised here for the entire game. Smith has played well. One turnover, bang, they put it into your net.
Andrew Cogliano, the former Michigan Wolverine, gets his 15th goal of the season. He had 13 goals each of his previous 2 years, and that'll tell you why he got a 4-year contract extension. He was the first star of the game against the Red Wings at the Joe, and he had 3 assists in the first meeting of the season, and he's got the go-ahead goal here.
And some people will say none will come easier than that, but he did what he's supposed to do. He drove to the far post, went to the net, and got rewarded for it.
Cogliano had 18 goals, a couple of times personal best with Edmonton. That puck didn't get out. To the near boards, grabbed there by Eves. Got checked immediately by Perreault. Quincy. Cleary was tied up, and that's why there is no icing. And then a collision. There's going to be a penalty here. Going to be a roughing call. This should go against the Ducks. Let's see. Maroon, that happened in front of the Anaheim bench, right where Bruce Boudreau is standing.
And the Ducks team, they've never been known for having guys for the Lady Byng Award take a lot of penalties every year. And a roughing penalty is not going to make Bruce Boudreau too happy after they take a 1-0 lead to put the Red Wings in the power play right after with a penalty like that in the neutral zone. Maroon is going to put himself in the good books with plays like that.
So the Red Wings go to their 4th power play of the night. Zetterberg. Kronwall. Samuelsson, the shot blocked. So Kronwall will go back and get it. And he'll skate it out to center with a pass ahead for Zetterberg. Nyquist. Bertuzzi. Samuelsson had to settle it down. Good fake at the line. Kronwall, lane taken away. Zetterberg into the slot. Nyquist tried to make the play, but it was blocked by Boschman.
Red Wings are going to have to figure out ways to get the pucks through to Hiller. He's a big goal. He's going to see they got guys in front, but the Ducks are doing a great job of layering their shot blockers, not only their forwards, but their defense are stepping in front of the Red Wing players and knocking those pucks down before they get through to Hiller.
Samuelsson. Zetterberg. Shot from Kindle blocked again. And Boschman has been so prevalent in blocking shots, had 11 last night. In the game against Phoenix, the Coyotes of the team had 4.
That's a good point. I think Boschman just had 3 in a row there. And they got to figure out ways. They're going to draw them out to the hash marks. They got to get pucks by them. They can outnumber the Ducks at the net.
Sheahan with a good play. Cleary to Tar, sent wide. Cleary able to gobble it up. Getting it back from Kindle. Into the slot for Tatar, left it there. Wanted to tip it back to the Kaiser, didn't get enough on it. Perry looked back to Kaiser, stick in the lane and deflects 7 rows up. Into the crowd here at the Honda Center in Anaheim, where the Ducks lead 1-0 on Cogliano's goal. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
I would have loved to have seen Tatar let that shot go instead of try to tip pass back to the blue line. He's been playing so well. He's hot. Whenever you get that puck on your stick, let it go right now. He's hot. He had Riley Sheahan blocking Hiller's view.
The Kaiser was able to chip it back behind the goal. Quincy sending one ahead. Anderson was hit as he got it in. And just fired back by the Ducks' Daniel Winnick. As the Red Wings are 0 for 4 on the power play. And didn't get a shot on the last one.
And when you're trying to break a team's record that hasn't lost at home and they've been so good, can't afford to have your power play let you down in a game like this.
Perry, save, loose. Nobody there for Anaheim. Eves got over to get it. In fact, we're under 4 to go here in the second period of this game, and it's only 1-0. Says something the way the Ducks have outscored teams on home ice in 20 games by 40 goals. And the Red Wings undermanned more so than the Ducks, who are really only missing Ryan Getzlaf.
Like we said before, the Red Wings have played very poised. They've been very good up to this point. Yes, they're down 1-0, but they've had some opportunities. They got to keep shooting, getting traffic on Hiller.
Zetterberg in for Brendan Smith. Came back to the line as the Ducks don't get it out. Kronwall with an attempted pass and deflect in back of the net. Applicator. Zetterberg digging it free. Sent a high one in, did Smith. Nyquist in front to the line. Brendan Smith, good job to keep it in again. Fowler. Zetterberg got over to intercept. With a good move, smoothly in back of the goal. Zetterberg forced wide by Fowler. Then Zetterberg eludes him. Great work by the Red Wing captain. To Smith. Broke his stick. Penner missed it at center. And Kindle's back to retrieve it.
Well, lucky for the Red Wings, Penner looked like he could barely skate at the end of that shift after chasing out Eric Zetterberg for that long after the broken stick by Smith.
Thomas Tatar. For Riley Sheahan. Tatar in to grab the loose puck. And grabbed his man in front. Oh, and a great chance there for Sheahan. It's off the side of the goal. Then Sheahan was able to block it. Back in for Tatar. Up along with Bertuzzi. Sheahan's got it. Sheahan to the goal, back in front. Bertuzzi was covered. Solani. Sent in by Fister. And they'll call that icing.
Another good shift by that line. Instead of Cleary with them, though, this time it was Todd Bertuzzi, but Tatar and Sheahan continue to play well for the Red Wings and creating chances down low.
Shots in this game are even at 15 apiece. Well, now they will call out the ice crew here as we will step out. Originally the call was icing, and then the linesman conferred. They said no. So with that, we'll take a break and back in a moment.
This game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Leafs hosting the Devils. Marek Zhidlicki with a nice pass to Ryan Clough, who makes a nice move on Jonathan Bernier to tie things at 2. That's where they stand. 2-2 headed to OT in TO. Now back to Anaheim. Ken, Ozzie, it's all you.
Thank you, Trevor. And Anaheim's Andrew Cogliano with the goal tonight, so it came at even strength. It's the Ducks' 38th goal. 5-on-5 plus 38. And the differential only behind St. Louis at plus 40, 5-on-5, in Chicago, Tampa, and Boston. The Red Wings, in that regard, plus 2. So that's why when you look at Anaheim's numbers, their power play just 21st in the league. They're doing their damage 5-on-5.
And a common theme with all 5 of those teams is they're at the top of the standings, each of their divisions. When you're good 5-on-5, you get rewarded for it.
Yep. So Glendening with Eves and Cleary. Good work by Cleary to Glendening. Puck bounces up high. Loose in the corner, but the Ducks Bolesky to center. Bolesky able to knock it down on the boards. Took a shot, and Mrazek came out on that with a good save to Kaiser on Winnick. Oshman at the line. Bolesky back of the net. De Kaiser tying it up with Winnick. Winnick a little elbow to the head of De Kaiser and then pulls him down. Good work by Eves, the second effort. Cleary as the puck knocked away from him as Bocheman moves in with Winnick again. And out of all that, the Ducks were able to recover, but now the Red Wings will take over. Less than a minute to go here in period number 2. In a 1-0 Anaheim lead. The Ducks have won their last 6 games, including last night. Zetterberg. Turning again. Lovejoy. Checking Zetterberg. Still with it. Then lost it as he tried to feed Abdelkader, was coming into the slot, but this will be icing. So with 11.4 seconds left in the second, the Red Wings will have a face-off to the right of Jonas Hiller.
Danny De Kaiser's last shift was battling against Winnick and his line mates. All 3 are big guys, but doing a good job not backing down. I'm not going to put up with that, he says, gives him a shot down to the ice at the end.
Off that draw, Nyquist has it on the left wing boards. Nyquist into the slot, coming over is Kronwall, but he couldn't hold it in. So the second period will come to its conclusion. The only goal from Andrew Cogliano, getting his 15th. And Anaheim goes to the dressing room leading by a score of 1-0. And a good night tonight for Peter Mrazek. Nothing he could do on that Cogliano goal that beat him. That's all part of our MGM Grand Detroit second intermission report with Darren Elliott and Trevor Thompson.
That's right, Ken. This intermission report is presented by MGM Grand Detroit. Well, after 40 minutes on the Duck Pond in Anaheim, the Ducks have a 1-0 lead over the Red Wings, but Peter Mrazek has looked pretty good so far, all the same, Darren.
You know, Trev, the thing about him that's impressed me tonight is he looked calm and cool and collected and ready to play right from the outset. And there's some tells other than just saves. Early on, he was moving the puck. He just looked like he was ready to play. Ozzie mentioned it. There's a good save. His first touch of the hockey game. Comes in, just good, real good focus. These aren't tough saves, but you just, you look at the body language, you look at how aware, look at he's having fun in there, doing a little bit of breakdancing. And this is on a sequence in the second period. So, and there's a puck handling. These are the other kinds of things that you can say, all right, is he sharp? Look at this little quick reverses. So I've liked his game. I think he was ready to play, and he's not even 22 years of age yet. little bit of the backup goalie blues in terms of the situation he's in, making the most of it.
Those little nuances you just showed us, the way he's playing the puck and things like that, do you think that's a sign of confidence that he's playing with right now?
Absolutely. Ozzy talks about the kid because he coached him last year, and he loves him, you can tell. And why not? Because the guy has just that battle mentality when he gets in there. He's just trying to stop the puck. There's no textbook. They're not making any videos of the way he plays. But right now they're making some videos of the way he's playing because he looks so calm and composed, and he fits in.
And they often say your goaltender is your best penalty killer, but it looks like whoever Mike Babcock throws on the ice right now is getting the job done as far as the Wings PK is concerned.
Yeah, Trevor, we're going to take a look at a sequence in the second period, 0-0 at the time. And here's the part you're talking about. You've got Mrazek making the saves, but you also have a real good penalty kill sequence. Watch Solani. He's going to streak, as he's done so often, to that off post, and then you're going to watch a good foot play by Smith. So real good penalty killing. So when your power play isn't going, right now they're in a funk 0 for 20, 0 for 4 tonight. The other side of the equation better be there, and it was at a critical juncture in that second period.
Well, we'll see if they can snap that power play funk in the third as it rolls on. But when we come back, we'll have a look at the highlights of the first 2 periods to see the Wings trail the Ducks by 1. 1-0 the score in Anaheim. We're coming back with the highlights right after this, everybody. You're watching Red Wing Hockey here on Fox Sports Detroit. Stick around. We're coming right back.
Ken Daniels, Chris Osgood back here at the Honda Center in Anaheim, where the Ducks' Andrew Cogliano has the only goal of the game. Peter Mrazek making his 6th appearance of the season. His 4th start. He appeared in relief against the Ducks in replace of Jonas Gustafsson at the Joe in the 5-2 loss. And Chris, he's been very good tonight.
Yeah, he's played very well. Like we said earlier, he loves playing in big games against very good teams, and he thrives on it, actually, and no chance on that goal there. Great pass by Koivu across the crease. Open net for Cogliano, but he stood tall. He's played the puck well. He looks confident, and this kid has a lot of swagger, and he loves playing hockey. And it shows. He's out of the net playing the puck. He's out, he's big. He's made some great glove saves. And he really doesn't get fazed by this at all. He doesn't get nervous. He just goes and plays, and he wants to be in this position, and he's looked great tonight.
And Jimmy Howard, a bit of a hip flexor issue, but nothing serious, although there was some thought that maybe Peter Mrazek would have started this game anyway.
Yeah, I believe that was still up in the air whether Jimmy Howard was even going to play tonight. They were thinking of putting Peter Mrazek in, but the way Jimmy Howard played last night with 44 saves, and earlier in Dallas with another 44. Yes, the second goal in San Jose wasn't good, but he looked the same that game to me. Could have played again tonight because he'd been playing so well. But with that hip flexor, elected to save him for Thursday in New York.
Which will be the Red Wings' 5th straight road game, and trying to come home on this road trip, which started out very well in Dallas, and then some days off and a loss in San Jose, but a win last night, and trying to come back here in the third, down by 1 to the best team in the National Hockey League, and the team that is 18-0-2 on home ice, has not lost in regulation, knocked down with a high stick. So face-off will come outside Detroit territory, and if a Detroit player has a great third period and gets a hat trick in this game, bring in a copy of the scoring summary, and you can also frame it to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the scoring summary in your newspaper on the Red Wings page at foxsportsdetroit.com. So let's hope there's a great third period here and maybe a hat trick from one of the Wings to come back in this one. We'll get another icing call, and now the face-off down ice into the Detroit zone once again.
They're playing very well today, actually better defensively. They have better structure than they did last night in Los Angeles. Shots are 16-15 for the Ducks, but more importantly, their scoring chances are tied at 11. The Red Wings have played very well. Hiller's made some nice saves, as well as Mrazek has, but they're right in this game. It's there for the taking. They got to go grab it.
And this is a high-scoring Ducks team that has production from plenty of sources. And again, no Ryan Getzlaf tonight, who blocked a couple of shots last night in the win over Phoenix. The Ducks 6 straight. And the Red Wings missing, as you know, Alfredsson and Datsuk and Helm and Eriksson, Franzen and Weiss. The list goes on, but they've got great performances. Last game from Riley Sheahan, his first career goal as Perry carries in. Perry to the goal, stopped by Mrazek. A chance here back at the line to Boschman. Shot wide off the glass, the other side taken by Quincy. But again, the Red Wings didn't get that one out, and Mrazek got to make a good left pad save, and down goes Perry, and there's going to be a penalty here to Detroit.
find that odd that the referee, which was closest to the play in the corner, didn't make the call, but the referee in the neutral zone made the call.
Perry showing he's cut, and why isn't there 4 minutes, or he's pleading for that. Here's the evidence. I'm injured, he says.
65 return, minor penalty, high sticking.
Only 2. No, they're not biting on that.
Well, the turnover once again. The Red Wings haven't made many of them today, but this is where the Ducks thrive on. A turnover, the shot of the net. The Kaiser on an island with Perry gets a stick high. An obvious high sticking penalty to the Kaiser, but now that's 2 or 3 times now. The Red Wings have played very well tonight, very structured, but they've given the puck away once, a goal, giving it away again. This one will put the Ducks on the power play.
Corey Perry, who got the call from Red Wings GM Ken Holland that he had made the Canadian Olympic team. Ken left him a message. He left a message for Ryan Getzlaf, too, who slept in and missed the call. Ken Holland said of the 6 he had to call, most were just voicemail messages because it was about 8 in the morning out here on the West Coast.
They're on California time.
Yeah. Have to have too many conversations. In the corner there for Lindholm. The defenseman got it in down low. Perreault getting the puck back. Perreault gets squeezed there along the boards by Quincy. Maroon tries to dig it free, went after it again. Perreault back to the line. Hampus Lindholm, rookie, back to Matthew Perreault with 3 assists last night. Got checked and then cleared down the ice. Lashoff.
So impressed with the way Anderson and Miller have been killing penalties in this entire road trip. They've been just great up top, getting in the lanes of pucks, blocking shots, getting their sticks on pucks, and getting pucks down the ice right away the first time, not second and third opportunities.
And now it's Glendening and Eves up front for Detroit. Eves with that effort. Forced Solani back to the line. Perreault kept it in. Glendening just missed it, dropped his stick, now gets it back. Vatanen to Lindholm, to Perreault. Mrazek the save, Maroon in the rebound, and cleared by Glendening.
Great play by Glendening to come down and assist his defenseman and Mrazek, realizing the shot came through. I think hit Mrazek in the head. Glendening came down for support and got that puck down.
Fowler put it back of the goal for Dustin Penner. Off the goalpost. That was close. Penner a shot blocked. Another one. Save Mrazek. Penner with it again. Fowler kept it in. Penner's got it out of the corner. Chipped ahead, but Anderson couldn't pick it up. Fowler holds in. Perry with it. Took the shot off the post. The net is off its moorings, back to center. The referee will try to settle it back on. He couldn't do it, as the peg wouldn't go in that hole, so...
Yeah, sometimes they'll let the goaltender fix it and put it back on, but Mrazek,
face-off will be outside.
Realizing his teammates were tired not to put that post back on. And Drew Miller's been blocking shots all night. And all road trip, for that matter, doing a great job on the penalty kill. Here he gets one, kicks his leg out like his brother. You've seen his brother playing some goal there. His brother's having a great year and stopping a lot of pucks. And Drew's trying to do the same. He's doing a great job in the penalty kill for the Red Wings.
Cogliano on the steal. I'm sure he and his brother had their road hockey battles too.
I wonder if Drew was ever in net.
I would think he would have.
With saves like that, he had to.
Yeah, I'm sure. Brian said, now it's my turn to shoot. Sellout crowd here in Anaheim, standing room only, 17,375. Back to Fowler at the left point. Into Koivu, who's got an assist tonight on the Cogliano goal. Cogliano's got it in back of the net, gets checked. To the point, Lovejoy, a bouncer in. The Mrazek had to make the save on. Zetterberg lifted the stick of Kyle Palmieri. Abdicated. 4 gone here in the third period. Kronwall back to get it.
Red Wings have to be careful on those plays. They have to get them out. The Anaheim Ducks are leaving it forward back behind Red Wings defense. They're shooting that puck through. They got to block those and make sure they get the puck out at that blue line.
Tatar overskated, Sheahan to help. Detroit 0 for 4 in their power play. Anaheim 0 for 3. Shots 21-15 Ducks. Red Wings will fly tonight back to Detroit. then head back to New York for yet another road game. On Wednesday, here's Tatar as they'll play the Rangers on Thursday at Madison Square Garden. Sheahan into it in front of the net along with former Dallas Star first-round pick Mark Fistrick. And Tim Horton, who was born on this day. How about that? Brings you the upcoming game schedule, courtesy of Tim Hortons, the Donut Legacy, and great coffee. And a great defenseman he was in his time. They'll be at Madison Square Garden, and then home to the Los Angeles Kings, finally back at the Joe, where the Red Wings look to get winning there and turn around their home record that's just 6-10-7 as they'll meet the LA Kings, who they beat last night, so they'll meet on consecutive Saturdays.
Looking to improve on that home record. Doesn't get much tougher than that.
Oh, it's
LA
coming
Kings,
ahead, sure.
St. Louis Blues, followed by the Chicago Blackhawks.
Puck's knocked away, and the Red Wings able to get it to center. Samuelsson. And these Ducks and the LA Kings will meet at Dodger Stadium for an outdoor game on January 25th. Temperature this week coming up here out in Los Angeles, Anaheim area is supposed to be in the 80s. Not supposed to be that warm later this month. At least they hope not. Anderson knocked it down in front. Good keep in at the line by Kindle. Samuelsson checked there by Bonino. And Bonino got it ahead for Corey Perry. Dropped it back to Penner. That shot went wide. Penner with 11 goals in the season. Scored 11 the previous 119 games. And he was re-signed by Anaheim as a free agent.
Here's that play again. Perry staying behind the Red Wings defense, looking for a turnover. Lashoff did a great job to stay with him.
He's probably had a few of those plays this year amongst his 25 goals. 3 goals and 6 points the past 4 games for Perry, who's without his usual centerman tonight in Getzlaf. Puck to the corner for Abdelkader. With Nyquist and Zetterberg, who shoots, bouncing puck in front of the goal. And Nyquist tried to backhand one in as Brendan Smith came in from his point position.
Nice play by Smith to realize the opportunity was there jumping in. Nyquist just couldn't get it across to him.
Here's Zetterberg, overskated on the left wing. Delayed offside if the Red Wings touch, and they do. And with that, we'll step out. It's a 1-0 Anaheim lead at the Honda Center. Well, if you're outdoors, I don't think anything can top 105,000 plus in the day we had in Ann Arbor with the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs. But the Stadium Series will continue with the Anaheim Ducks and the LA Kings at Dodger Stadium. We mentioned that it'll be 80s here in the next week, but the temperature would not be quite that, and projected it won't be in the 60s. And here are the sweaters, the jerseys that the two teams will wear for the Stadium Series, the Kings and the Ducks. Los Angeles beat Anaheim earlier this season in a shootout. Tatar in front, off a leg, saved by Hiller on a try by Sheahan. Here's Tatar again with the best Red Wing chance in the first period. Tatar circles the goal. For De Keyser at the line. Sent in front, knocked out of the air. Sheahan with a try, and then Bertuzzi on the rebound. Boy, Sheahan's had some chances tonight, so too is Tatar. Back come the Ducks to center. Offside is Solani.
Well, these two youngsters have been great over the course of the last 2 games against 2 very tough opponents. And Tatar taking the puck to the net again. Sheahan following up with a nice save by Hiller. And once again, Bertuzzi getting in front of the net. The shot comes through. Sheahan deflects it through. Bertuzzi just can't get his stick on it, but these two youngsters have played great. They've added some speed and enthusiasm to the forwards, and they've created quite a few opportunities tonight.
Eves racing after it was Fistrick. Mrazek plays it. Smith will reverse that. Kronwall. 4 goals, 28 points in the season for number 55. Eves with a good move. Kronwall behind, too far for Reeves. In comes Zetterberg. Fending off Ottman. Oh, and a good stop there by Jonas Hiller. Smith had it blocked. Perry got in front of it, and he's hurt. Tipped up into the netting, and Perry trying to shake that one off. 8 game-winning goals, leads the NHL for Corey Perry. His centerman Getzlaf with 7, his second. And you can get the Red Wings Pick 4-pack and enjoy great benefits. You can choose your favorite 4 wing games from a pre-selected list and receive playoff priority. Plus, you'll get a free ticket to see the Spartans and Wolverines at the Joe on Thursday, January 23rd. Go to DetroitRedWings.com to build your plan. Cogliano has got the only goal in this game, speaking of the Wolverines and the Spartans. Cogliano had 78 points in 77 games when he played with Michigan. Great speed there. He's noticed by the Oilers, who drafted him. Fowler backs up with it. Now in his 4th season, getting it back from Lovejoy. Tipped as both teams will use the opportunity to change. 9 minutes gone in period number 3. Ken Daniels, Chris Osgood, John Keating, and our Fox Sports Detroit crew with you here at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Well, the Red Wings look to give the Ducks their first regulation loss. And a save off Jakob Silfverberg by Mrazek. Silfverberg was the man they acquired. The Ducks did, and the deal for Bobby Ryan. He was the Senators' 39th overall pick in 09.
The Kaiser firing this through. Tipped by Sheahan. Possibly could have went in, hitting the right arm of Bertuzzi with Hiller going the opposite direction. Could have been a goal, but that's just some unlucky puck luck there. Bertuzzi being where he's supposed to be, and that just happens sometimes. And
that's the second shot he's blocked tonight. The first one hurt a lot more. Tatar will help out to Kaiser, who'd pinched to get back. Sheahan doesn't get out for Silfverberg for Anaheim. Silfverberg missed the game. Silfverberg did with the broken hand. Ironically, did it against Ottawa earlier this year. He's got a great release, terrific shot. Sheahan got to center and will dump it deep. Good move coming through the middle by Lindholm. Ducks were thinking, could he stick? And there was no way they could send him to the American Hockey League. He was just that good out of the gate to start this season, the rookie Lindholm. Hiller knocked it aside. Smith couldn't keep it in as Miller gives it back for Kronwall. Glendening got it through, and Sammy Vatanen. Checked by Miller. Henner can't get it out. Bonino will try. And he will. Perry and Kronwall. Kronwall breaks his stick on Perry's stick, knocked it out of his hands. There's going to be a slashing penalty as a result. So when we come back, Mike Babcock's team will be shorthanded.
Nicholas Kronwall, he's an aggressive player, but he knows he can't do this. This is a penalty he knows isn't a good one. And as a veteran player, he knows Perry had been out there for a long time in his own zone. The Red Wings had him pinned. Desperation, they sent it on the ice. Perry was chasing with Kronwall. He should have just pinned him to the boards, kept him in there, contained him for a little while. Nothing would have come out, but Nicholas Kronwall's a veteran player. He knows that's not a penalty he can take, especially at this junction of the game, trailing 1-0 against a team that has never lost at home yet this season.
And the Red Wings off that first face-off win. Mrazek played it. Perry able to knock it down for Penner. Back for Nick Bonino. For Fowler at the point. Nick Bonino to get it. Back here to Fowler. To the slot. Off the feed from Oshman didn't work. Well, the Red Wings and Ducks will change up their special teams. Anaheim with a power play goal in 4 consecutive games, 6 for 13 their previous 4 tonight, but 0 for 3 this evening. Mrazek played it off the glass, a bouncer to the line that Fowler will keep in. For Francois Beauchemin, down for Teemu Selanne. Beauchemin at the right point, left-hand shot. Back this way to Matthew Perreault, down low out front for Maroon. Fowler to Selanne. Fowler to Beauchemin, a shot block. Getting in front of it was Smith. And Smith will send it the length of the ice.
Well, this penalty kill, the entire night has been great, and it continues to be. It's a big part of this game right now with the Wings trailing 1-0. If they can kill this off, they could find an opportunity for themselves here in the last part of this game, maybe on the power play late, to tie this thing up.
Setting up is Lindholm. Plus 23 for the rookie Lindholm. Out of the box is Kronwall, so 1 shot on that power play that is now 0 for 4. And the Red Wings got that mission accomplished. Mrazek slowed it down, but Kindle couldn't pick it up cleanly. Cogliano checked there by Zetterberg. Quincy quickly to Abdelkader. The Ducks hustle back and clog up the center. Dumped into the right wing offensive corner where Fowler got there first. Amazing that Fowler slipped to 12th in the draft in 2010. What a find. Right into their laps. And that play goes offside. A reminder to vote in the Fox Sports Detroit Red Wings Player of the Game presented by McDonald's McCafe Rewards. To vote, just text WINGS followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338. Or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com and see final results post-game with Trevor Thompson during Red Wings Live. Beauchemin off Kronwall. He and Silverberg battle. Brendan Smith. Puck deflects into the corner. Sheahan. For Bertuzzi. Point shot knocked down in front. Good hustle by Bertuzzi to get there. Bertuzzi whirling back in front with it to the far side. Kronwall with a good move. Fakes the shot. Comes back here to Smith. To no one in particular, as Silverberg will carry it head to center.
Beauchemin's been great back there tonight for the Ducks. Not only defensively and making that first pass out of his zone, but he's blocked a ton of shots. He's been solid as a rock there in front of Hiller all night long.
They reacquired him from Toronto. Really never fit in Toronto, but boy, he's just been terrific and a second time around here with Anaheim, as he was the first.
There's something to be said for familiarity. He comes back to a team he knows where he is. He's comfortable here. He's played very well since coming back.
Quincy. Puck wouldn't settle for him. Eaves. Red Wings will regroup and they'll want to get a change. Anderson went after it. Vatanen, second effort, out at center to Kaiser. Ducks are changing. Zetterberg knocked it out of the air. Zetterberg was checked, stays with it though. Got help from Nyquist behind the goal to Abdelkader. Fowler chasing him. Abdelkader whacked it to the near side. And Cogliano just dumped it to center ice. Quincy at center, back in it goes. Nyquist and Fowler again. Bounce through to Abdelkader. Took a shot! Off the goal post! Off the post, that close. Abdelkader back to the line to Kindle. Tipped by Zetterberg just over top of the goal. Boy, the Ducks are living right. Knocked away, Kronwall. Abdelkader. He gets knocked down. Bouncing puck, Kronwall able to keep it in. Fowler behind the goal. Pinching in is Kindle, but couldn't get the puck.
Well, close. The Red Wings just have to continue to press here. They're going to get some chances. Anaheim played last night as well. They're tired. They're in the lead. Red Wings keep doing what they're doing.
Perreault checked by Tatar. Zetterberg just exhausted after a terrific shift will head off. Oh, Solani's going to get a penalty, so the Red Wings are going to head to a Bell Tire power play with 3:40 to go in the game. Looking to get even in this one when we come back.
Trevor Thompson here with a studio update. Devils at Leafs, scoreless after the third. No goals in OT. Into a shootout we go. James Van Riemsdyk, the first and only goal of the shootout, gives the Leafs a much-needed 3-2 victory. And we'll have more from that one and around the NHL. Of course, all the post-game reaction from tonight's game in Anaheim, including John Keeney's conversation with Mike Babcock. But now let's get you back to the rest of the third on the pond with Ken and Ozzy.
Thank you, Trevor. And on this pond, the Red Wings are going to head to a power play. And they came this close to tying it up. Applicator, goalpost.
Well, Ken, we were saying right after that puck seemed to hit the post, the pace of that game, this game certainly picked up. Applicator coming that close to tying this game up.
So the veteran Teemu Selanne in the box. Power play for Detroit, their 5th of this game. 6 of their 20 shots have come with the man advantage. Kronwall got a stick in there for Zetterberg. But the Ducks able to get back and get it the length of the ice.
Yeah, the Red Wings have to figure out a way to get pucks through the net to Hiller. Ducks are doing a great job not only with their forwards, but their defense are stepping up and blocking these shots going through. They got to maybe use the end boards or do something different to get them through towards Hiller. Cause a scramble in front, maybe bang home a rebound.
Ice Time is brought to you by Motor City Casino Hotel. Thomas Tatar, 10 minutes and 22 seconds of ice time. Samuelson.
Red Wings have to show some desperation here. Speed things up here and start shooting at the net.
Zetterberg has it knocked off his stick, allowing Jonas Hiller to hold on. Hiller with 13 consecutive victories, tying Chris Osgood in that regard. Chris, you had that many back in the 95-96 season, I believe, of 96 January through March. So if he were to get another win here tonight, you were the last to do it. He'd go to 14 straight, tying 4 others. Gilles Gilbert of the Bruins 75-76 holds the record for consecutive wins at 17.
And the one thing about those numbers, Ken, you have to play for a good team.
Yeah.
And all those teams that all those goalies
it wasn't all
played
just
for.
you. You told me it was.
I'd like to tell people that nowadays that it was all me, but we know that it wasn't.
Okay.
But what a team we had that year when we won that many 62 wins. It was a fun year.
45 seconds left on the power play, but the Ducks doing a good job, and the sellout crowd here at the pond in Anaheim acknowledging that. Silverberg up with Koivu. And now Tatar will go to chase. Cogliano coming in.
The Red Wings just can't get organized here. Ducks are doing a good job of hounding the puck. The two forwards are sending layers in on the Red Wings. They can't even get control of the puck. They got to get this puck in the Duck zone and hopefully get one opportunity here.
Zetterberg will do that now. Zetterberg still with it. Holds on. 3 seconds to go in the power play. Larry to the line. Selanne out of the box. Harry deflects it. Zetterberg trying to get away from Fowler. 90 seconds to go.
You know, right there, I've always said I'd like to see the goalie come out during the course of the play. It's hard for the team to figure out where that 6th attacker is coming in on the ice rather than a timeout be called and then do it on a face-off. But when he comes out, here he comes right here. We'll see if the Ducks pick him up.
So he's gone to the bench, has Mrazek. Winning. Off a glove and sent back. Kronwall at center. Red Wings with 6 skaters and an empty, a minute to go. Zetterberg across center. A looper into Hiller, who will hold it and take the faceoff.
Good play by Zetterberg. The Wings having troubles getting into the Anaheim zone. Why not flip it on Hiller? Get him to catch it, get a face-off in the Duck zone. Now you win this draw. They create some opportunity off of that.
Mrazek stopping 22 shots tonight. Mike Babcock. Timeout. Mike Babcock's used his timeout. It is troops organized, just like we promised earlier in the game. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Young Mrazek's been great tonight. Showed poise. Great glove save there. He's a quick, athletic goalie. Standing tall there and big. At 6'1", he's not as big as a lot of these other guys in the National Hockey League now, but he sure played big tonight. 0 chance on that goal. Great feed by Koivu, like we said before, but wow, when you come in Anaheim as a rookie goaltender, not a lot of experience, to give 1 goal, you've had a good night.
So the Red Wings have Bertuzzi, Nyquist, Zetterberg, Tatar, Samuelsson, Kronwall.
That was a good timeout by the Red Wings to get some Henrik Zetterberg needed rest.
On this face-off with Koivu. Scramble draw controlled by the Ducks. Knocked down by Kronwall, played it so there's no hand pass. Boschman just wired one. A fortuitous bounce here to Cogliano. As the Ducks across center, empty net, and they miss it. The open goal for Bonino, and he couldn't bury it. Going down was Koivu, with Zetterberg with room. Nyquist on the fly on the right wing, took a shot. Hiller handled it, it bounced back off Koivu. Right to Tatar, Samuelsson the shot. Got it again, 17 seconds to go. Around to Zetterberg on the near boards, 12 seconds. Kronwall to Zetterberg, to the goal and wide. 7 seconds. Samuelsson. Kronwall, 3 seconds. Zetterberg off Bertuzzi. Wide of the net. The Anaheim Ducks win again at home. 19-0-2. Still unbeaten in regulation on home ice.
Got a great effort by the Red Wings tonight here in Anaheim. Yes, they lose 1-0, but played a very, very poised, smart game. Obviously, the only thing they didn't do right is score a goal. But of all the games in this road trip, this could have been their most complete. Unfortunately, they didn't get a victory tonight.
So the Anaheim Ducks will send the Red Wings back to Detroit on this portion of the trip with victories in Dallas and Los Angeles and losses in San Jose and Anaheim. But 2-2 against this tough competition, not bad. A lot more in a moment.